One girl's wearing a bra and one is wearing a bikini. Which one is which? It doesn't matter, because neither of them are even a girl. You trust me by default and you've already been misled.
Emotional, damn it!
Lesson 1. Don't blindly trust. Think for yourself. Let me show you how to never be fooled again. So I was with my girlfriend and we were waiting for an elevator. Suddenly the door opens and in there is a girl in a bikini. And we were both instantly baffled because it appeared as if there was an undressed lady in there. We got in the elevator and I stared at the floor. Even though the girl I was with probably wore a bikini herself before, she was still shocked. It shows how wrong it is when you aren't expecting it. When context judges the truth, it was never true to begin with. So lesson 2, don't let context fool you. The truth is consistent.
But her body, her choice.
I agree. That's why this is my choice of attire for my public outings.
What the...
Why are you looking at me, pervert? Is this not normal to you? Every day around 7,000 to 8,000 people die from alcohol-related causes. Compare that to our 50 to 100 deaths a day from what was recently declared a global health crisis and leading us to locking down the whole world. Yeah, alcohol is normalized, and that sickness was declared a global crisis. So lesson 3, something being normal does not make it true or okay.
Dude, let's get wasted.
Nah, I don't do drugs.
Come on, bro, it's just some beers.
Even better, it lowers your testosterone and kills your liver. My favorite combo.
Okay, you know we can just take shots.
So I was asked, are you from a liberal country? When I expressed a stance that was a bit more rigid, and I told him I'm a man of no nation because my lens of view is built through the removal of identity, because the truth is as clear as your lack of bias. The pure existence of individuality is a polarity of delusion. This is an example of cultural programming. Let's make it more extreme. In some countries, child marriage is acceptable. Does that make it okay because of culture? No. Culture isn't an excuse for destructive behavior. Lesson 4. Culture isn't clarity, it's conditioning. Hey, that's cultural appropriation.
You know what? You're right.
Whoa, stop. When it comes to politics, my dad and I get into a lot of trouble because we don't ever pick a team, so both sides dislike us, but all we are trying to do is see it accurately without succumbing to the tribal mentality. This also happens with religion. 99% of the time, the religion people subscribe to is the one they were born into. And notice how I said subscribe since most don't actually follow their religion or even know it. Lesson 5. Picking a team is picking a limitation in thought. Bonus lesson. If you're born into a team, odds aren't in favor of it being the most accurate. Out of curiosity, what values would you teach your kid?
I'll just give him a tablet, bro.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
As a child, I endured trauma, but it gave me an odd but effective perspective. I see the world through a very simple question. Will this action lead to the suffering of a child? You eat fast food, how does this affect a child? You die sooner, giving your future children less of you. You pass on your bad habits to the child. How about dressing provocatively? This attracts lustful people, which leads to a casual encounter or a bad partner, more often than not, which can lead to diseases or unplanned pregnancy, which some STDs spread to the child through birth, and most children are born into unstable environments like this, which never really turn out very good. And I know, I'm gonna hear someone say,
But I don't want to have kids.
okay, but still think about your influence and who you may impact with your decay. Most people don't see how action A leads to consequence B, when you really should be thinking about how action A leads to consequence Z. Lesson 6. Think long-term consequences, not short-term pleasures. Ask yourself, if I do this action every day for the next 5 years, what will happen?
Oh my god, my body count doesn't matter, you're just insecure.
If I'm insecure, then honestly name me one good thing about your actions.
I know what I want.
Okay, so you have unrealistic standards, a high chance of STD, emotional trauma, and a good chance of low self-worth.
This is an awful date.
Noted. Whenever you get into a relationship, what is the first question people ask you? What do they look like? Not how is their character. So, not to brag, but I maxed out the amount of likes I could see on Tinder in about 5 hours. My leading thing on my profile card is always, I like someone who says more than hello. What do you think is the main message I get? It's always some variation of hello, which I never respond to. I filtered aggressively only for people who look for a long-term partner and were seemingly modest, yet they couldn't even read a line right in their face. It's no surprise that almost all relationships fail. Lesson 7. Don't have surface vision, have soul vision. I was saving this for my course, but hey, you get what you give, so let me go over this chart with you guys, because this is a very big lesson to learn. It's about how to have proper external vision of people. When you stop using surface vision and start using soul vision, it's very easy to see people clearly. So starting off, we have attraction. On the surface, it's usually just programming. In the Philippines, I see whitening soaps, nose bridges glorified, and Western features idealized. Why? Because the media said so. Now on a soul level, the true self is the most attractive thing. When you remove all the layers of falsity, the best characteristics naturally arise. When someone won't hurt themselves, they most likely will not hurt you. And here we are with judgment. On the surface, it's a social hierarchy perspective, of what will make you look best. But when that's not the case, it's a sweeping generalization, which obviously is nearly never completely accurate. And for the soul, well, true soul vision is non-judgment, but let's keep an optimal perspective with self-identity intact. Let's say you have a criminal. One person will say, "What an awful person." The soulful person will say, "What happened to them?" And here we are with value. On the surface, celebrities are a good example of these things people value. Why? Not because they're good, but because they are personifications of all that is valued on the surface. But for the soul, simply the perspective here is one of prosperity for all things, which can only be done under the light of truth, love, and right action over the long term. And here we are with relationships. On the surface, most relationships fail because people are bonded while deeply damaged, and obviously most relationships revolve around ignoring these things and subduing the problems and intoxicants. It could be entertainment, it could be some type of substance, but either way, they're trying to ignore the real problem. Now on the soul level, I've noticed people like to keep secrets from their partner. The only true way to have a sanctifying relationship is to become one, but this requires a knowledge of who you are, and also requires the other to have a knowledge of who they are, and the truth. Surface level truths are based on society, keeping things emotionally harmonious and what is programmed to be okay. A soul level truth is that there is no bias. It's not just what you think, it just is. But if you want to morally frame it, refer back to the soul vision value chart. And here we are with the self. On the surface, as long as you see yourself this way, you'll be insecure. You'll see yourself with a perspective of how others see you. You'll craft your stories to make yourself look good, and you'll find yourself unhappy and blame everything outside of yourself for the outcome. Now for the soul self, it's a bit of a paradox. I've come to find the more I remove from myself, the more depth there is. When you realize all actions root from how you believe you are, things become very simple, so it leaves you in a place to craft your own character or remove the character shell entirely. Now let me ask you, what triggers you to do something? Simply, a feeling leads to an impulse, leading to justifying thoughts, ending in the action. This simple formula is used in marketing all the time. Look at a medication commercial. As they list off how this medication will make you hallucinate a tiger trying to eat you, the background imagery will be people happy. Fear. It's always fear, the most primal emotion. If they can make you feel like you'll be socially isolated, they can make you feel like you need something. Ads don't work on me because I know they are trying to make me feel a certain way. Lesson 8. Don't cope with the feeling. Feel it. Bonus lesson, ask yourself what they're trying to make you feel and why. Oh great, this is awkward, what do I do? You know what? I'm gonna face this feeling.
Chief, you okay?
Let me ask you a simple question. Who are you? You'll give me the circumstances you hold currently and have experienced, or what you plan to get, but all this is biased. Why do so many people go to college? Oftentimes because it's what's expected. The truth of the matter is that when you remove all the conditioning you experienced, you are no longer blinded. But that's not a way to live a normal life. So a simple safeguard to fight the programming is to rewrite it. Know exactly what you want in life, and ask yourself why you want it. If the reason why you want something is external, then it's not the true reality. It has been influenced to make you believe that's what you want. Once you know what you truly want, you are suddenly guided with precision. So lesson 9. You want the truth? Take no perspective, especially on things you aren't knowledgeable about. Oh, what is this?
You get 3 wishes. Anything you desire.
Alright. I wish I didn't have depression.
Done. Here's a gym membership, a bedtime. Your phone can only be used for useful purposes, and the consciousness to be aware of what thoughts you entertain.
Wait, that's not very magical.
Well, yeah. Your life sucks for a reason. I'm not a miracle worker.
You want to understand the process of removing all conditioned beliefs? Feel free to click this video right here.